Hey, this is my computer setup. Just want to talk about it if you're interested. So this is the desktop. Usually this is like a program. It's a software. I don't know what's the name of it. Wait a minute. It's called something like uh, Blatter. So it's a Blatter. And so once you do it, it puts this like like a widget or something in desktop. So when I'm putting something in the Gmail calendar, it will show up here so I know what is going on. And usually if there is some sort of project or something I'm working on, I put folders. And I'm putting these folders right here because I want to cover like something. So this is like, for example, this is the password of my Wi-Fi. So anyway, usually there's no folder to desktop, only if I'm working on some sort of a project or something. So yeah, this is the date, the number of the date of the month. All right. So this is the major application that I'm using, which is obviously Spotify and Safari are always on, always working on. They're always there, Safari and Spotify. And this is Snagit. This is the application I'm recording with. It's right here, so it's like recording right now. And iTunes obviously Flux to download from the internet and videos from YouTube. It's like this is the equivalent application for 8man, Internet Download Manager, obviously uTorrent for downloading torrent files, and this is Noizio. It's very fun application. This is it, the application, which is just give you some sort of sound. You see the sound of the fire, and the sound of thunderstorm, and the sound of summer that you hear in the background is coming from the application. So usually when I'm working at night, let's just make this sound, just focus. It's helped me to focus and so on, which is great. I love that. And after that, popcorn time. Everybody knows that, I think. This is with my apps. So when there's a lot of application running here in the bar, I can just click on this and everything will turn off. Okay, activity monitor, obviously. Google Notes. This is where all my notes are. And I choose this application specifically because of the multi-platform synchronization. So if you are in Android or iPhone or PCs or Mac or even Linux, what Windows Phone, wherever you are, you can access your notes with this application, which is Google Keeps, which is I love the application. My school notes, like projects and everything, are Microsoft OneNote, and I use it instead of notes of the Apple because OneNote is cross-platform. For example, you could use Microsoft OneNote on PC and Mac and iPhone and Android and everywhere, but OneNote only works on Mac and iPhone. That's why I choose Microsoft OneNote. Reminders, very easy to know. Notes, calendar, and this is airmail. This is my choice for mail. I just like airmail because it's more organized and simple. Obviously Spotify and Final Cut Pro because, you know, videos. If you make videos, you obviously have Final Cut Pro. The first time I was using Adobe Premiere, but it was like hard and complicated for me, and Windows was not optimized. So the moment I tried Final Cut Pro, I find it very useful, and it's easy to use and more, you know, more optimized. So that's it. I use most of the time for picture editing. I use Pixelmator, which is a very nice application. It's quite light. It has the basics, you know. I don't need like full feature program like Photoshop or something. It has too much stuff that I don't need. So Pixelmator have the basics, which is enough for me. Affinity Photo is the same as Pixelmator, but I don't use it much. Eerie is the same as Fox. You can download from YouTube too. Clean My Mac, obviously, it's like cleaning and, you know, and deleting stuff and making your stuff cleaner. Chrome, obviously. I keep Chrome because when I'm in Windows, I have bookmarks, so when I come back to Mac, I can just synchronize, So photos, obviously, Snagit, which is what I'm using right now to record this video. Calculator, App Store setting, and backup for Google Docs. So this is the major application that I'm using. Obviously, there's extra application here, which is like normal application, so nothing important. I just I just like to keep it clean and simple. By the way, this is let's see about this. Wait a minute. This is the 2013 MacBook Air, so it has an i7 1.7 gigahertz, 8 gig of RAM, and the storage it has 500. So this is what I set up. This is the first 100 gig. It's for Mac, and there is like 280 gig for data, which is another Windows 8 installed in here, and there is Windows 10 installed in here, and there's another version, another partition where Linux is installed, but it's not shown because the format of the drive, the Mac does not recognize that format. So it has 4 partition, one for Mac and 2 Windows and 1 Ubuntu, Windows 8 and Windows 10 and Ubuntu. So I'm going to show you all that after a while, and that's basically this is it. I actually keep it clean and simple, Night shift is always on, and display is always empty. I don't use it that much. So this is basically, so now I'm going to log out from the Mac, and I'm going to reboot, and I'm going to go to Windows. Okay, so as I told you, the Mac is 4 partition, one for Mac, which is installed here, Windows 8 is installed here, and this is the big partition where all the data is installed, and Windows 10 installed here, another partition which is Windows, which is Ubuntu, and you can see it actually here in if you go to disk utility. So this is it. This is the 4th drive, which is Ubuntu is installed. So we're going to log out and reboot the PC and go to Windows 10, and after that to Ubuntu, and finish the setup of my computer. So I'm going to stop the recording now, and after I go to Windows, I'm going to record again and see you after a while. Peace. So stop. Back to Windows. So now we are in Windows. This is Windows 10, I guess. Yeah, it's Windows 10. As you can see here, the same computer. Okay. So I use Snagit again to record the videos. The same, always Snagit. Obviously, Spotify always working on. So this is Abdul Halim Hafid. If you know about him, listen. It's very nice. It's very nice. Listen. وفي عز الشوق يا حبيبي وفي عز الليل بكتب لك لا لا قلبي اللي بيكتب لك هو اللي بيبعت لك. I love this guy. Anyway, so let's continue. I just love to keep things clean. So the desktop is always empty because if I'm working on a project or something, I would love just, to just put stuff. But the garbage is right here. You can see it because, it's the garbage. So as always, Chrome and Spotify always on. Okay, so Chrome, YouTube, and GSM Arena always there. Obviously, keep always this application either on Windows and Mac on phone, always there. So Edman, which is I love it, and Explorer, it's clean, basic stuff. Which come here like code blocks. This is for work in school. OneNote always, because this is all my school notes are stored here. So yeah, it's very basic, very simple. All these folders actually are shared, so one place. If you can just come here to device. So this is Windows, and this is the data. Obviously Mac is not shown with Ubuntu 2, but we're going to log into Ubuntu shortly. So this is the biggest partition. It has where the data is 260 gig. It has a Windows 8, but I'm not going to log into this because Windows 10, Windows 8 are the same, so there's no point. But I just put Windows 8 there in case something goes wrong with Windows 10. So I have I have alternative because Windows usually get crashed so fast. It's not that nice. So this is Windows. It's very easy, very simple. This application that I stored like lots. So yeah, and there's this we'll call it flags to change the screen to become like like lit warm, so you prevent your eyes from going crazy. So basically this is Windows 10, nothing fancy. I just love to keep everything clean and simple. Okay, so now I am going to log out from Windows. I'm going to log into Ubuntu and we'll see you there. Okay, thank you. See you. So now we are in Ubuntu. I don't know why the microphone didn't work, but I did install an application from software Ubuntu to record only the video and the audio I'm recording right now. And so this is the desktop, very simple, very minimalistic. So this is where like Explorer. The first one is where Ubuntu installed. So Mac after that, and data where is Windows 8.1 installed, and after that is Windows 10. So very simple. So yeah, and I'm using very basic application like software Ubuntu. Like this is a like torrent client, and this is an application for like sound of the ocean and stuff. This is like a downloader, and this is media player, Spotify obviously, and so yeah, basic stuff. Chrome, Google Keep obviously always, and code blocks for school, and this is it. It's very simple stuff. I just use it from time to time. It's nothing serious. So now my advice to you is, it's very obvious. I think the hardware of Mac is better. I mean, if you're buying a computer, always buy a Mac. Why? It's very simple, because a Mac is a PC. A PC is not a Mac, which means that if you have a Mac, you can install Windows and Linux and everything, and it's very easy. But if you have a PC, you can't install a Mac, so it's better to buy a Mac. I know it's kind of more expensive and so on, but it's good investment for the long term. Plus the hardware, it's stunning, unibody aluminum quality. So yes, and believe me, the moment you start using Mac, you will hate Windows. Mac is so easy to use, so optimized, so beautiful. So yeah, never buy a PC again. I'm not Apple fanboy or anything, but I'm just saying the truth. Apple hardware and even software are amazing. Nobody can deny that, okay? And this is my advice for you. So do whatever you want, and okay, this is just my opinion. You're free to do whatever you want. Bye bye. See you in the next video.